Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'll be checking out 3 videos that haunted me as a kid, or like 3 animations. And this first video is from the GOAT, Llama Arts, of course. Llama Arts, I've been watching this person since like 2016 when they first blew up, or like around there. Like 2018, 2019, you know what I'm saying, dog. Anyways, I'm gonna shut my mouth and hop straight in. Alright, this first video is called The Smiling Man. This one actually terrified me. This one actually kept me up because the guy was so fucking creepy. It kept me up for nights. I'm gonna be honest. This actually kept me up at night. But now I'm a grown man, so I'm like 50 years old.
About 5 years ago,
I'm gonna shut up. I'm sorry.
Downtown in a major city in the U.S. I've always been a night person, so I would often find myself bored after my roommate, who was decidedly not a night person, went to sleep. To pass the time, I used to go for long walks and spend the time thinking. I spent 4 years like that, walking alone at night, and never once had a reason to feel afraid. I always used to joke with my roommates that even the drug dealers in the city were polite.
You guys ever do that, like,
go
go outside and walk at night? I don't like doing that. It's creepy.
It was a Wednesday, somewhere between 1 and 2 in the morning, and I was walking near a police-patrolled park quite a ways from my apartment. It was a quiet night, even for a weeknight, with very little traffic and almost no one on foot.
Okay.
As it was most
Where's the
nights,
smiling
was
man at?
completely empty. I went down a short side street in order to loop back down my apartment when I first noticed him. At the far end of the street, on my side, was
That
the
guy's
silhouette
geeked
of a
out of
man
his mind,
dancing.
dude.
It was a strange dance, similar to a waltz.
Bro's doing a
but he
Fortnite
finished
emote.
each box with an odd forward stride. I guess you could say he was dance walking, headed straight for me. Deciding he was probably drunk, I stepped as close as I could to the road to give him the majority of the sidewalk.
Just
to
walk
pass
away.
me.
Why are you
Closer
going
he
towards
got,
him? I would just
the
walk
more I
away.
realized how
It's
gracefully he was
fucking
moving.
Bart Simpson looking dude. Hold up, go back.
How
This dude looks
gracefully-
like Bart Simpson. Look, you can't tell me he doesn't look like Bart Simpson. Hold up.
the
I
closer
need a
he
better
got,
frame.
the more I
Dude looks like Bart Simpson. Right there, Bart Simpson. That looks like Bart Simpson, low-key. If Bart Simpson was like depressed.
He was very tall and lanky and wearing an old suit.
Dude looks
He
like a
danced
cheese
closer
stick.
still, until I could make out his face. His eyes were open wide and
Oh,
wild.
this dude looks like
Head
Jeff the
tilted
Killer.
back
This shit kept
slightly,
me up at
looking
night.
off at the
This was
sky.
scary.
His mouth was formed in a painfully wide cartoon of a smile. Between the eyes
Bro's
of the
eyes are
smile,
glowing. This dude's a
I
fucking
decided to cross the
animatronic.
street before he danced any closer. I took my eyes off of him to cross the empty street.
My
As
bad.
I reached
Fuck.
the other side, I glanced back, and then stopped dead in my tracks.
He was
He
naked.
had stopped dancing and
Wait,
was standing
no.
with one foot in the street, perfectly parallel to me.
Damn. Man, just walk away at
He
that
was
point. What are you
facing me,
doing?
but still looking skyward. The
Just
smile
slap him.
still
Just slap
wide
his
on
face around.
lips.
Beat the shit out of him
I
and
was
like dip.
completely and utterly unnerved by this.
I
I
mean, you
started
look
walking
pretty
again, but kept
nonchalant
my
to me,
eyes
bro.
on the man.
This guy looks
He
pretty
didn't
locked in.
move. Once I had put about half a block between us, I turned away from him for a moment to watch the sidewalk in front of me. The street and sidewalk ahead of me were completely empty. Still unnerved, I looked back to where he had been standing to find him gone. For the briefest of moments I felt relieved, until I noticed him. He had crossed the street and was
Where?
now slightly crouched down.
I can't
couldn't
see
tell
shit.
for sure due to the distance and the shadows, but I was certain he was facing me. I had looked away from him for no more than 10 seconds, so it was clear that he had moved fast. I was so shocked, and I stood there for some time, staring at him.
Just
then he
walk
started
away, my
moving
dude. What
toward
are you
me
doing?
again. He took giant, exaggerated, tiptoed steps, as
What?
if he were a cartoon character sneaking up on someone.
Where? Oh, she's
Except
right
he
there.
was moving very, very quickly. I'd like to say at this point that I ran away or pulled out my pepper spray or cell phone or anything at all, but I didn't. I just stood there, completely frozen, as the smiling man crept toward me. And then he stopped again, about a car length away from me,
This dude
still
is
smiling
high
a
up his
smile.
mind.
still looking to the sky. When I finally found my voice, I
Get the
blurted
fuck
out
away
first
from
thing
me.
that came to mind. What I meant to ask was, "What the fuck do you want?" in an angry,
Oh.
commanding tone. What came out was a whimper.
What do you
What
want?
the regardless of whether or not humans can smell fear, They can certainly hear it. I heard it in my own voice. That only made me more afraid. He just stood there, smiling. And then, after what felt like forever, he turned around, very slowly, and started dance walking
Oh, it
away.
worked. Alright, what a
Just
polite
like
man.
that.
He just left.
Not wanting to turn my back to him again, I just watched him go, until he was far enough away to almost be out of sight. And then I realized something. He wasn't moving away anymore, nor was he dancing.
He was naked!
I watched in horror as
Oh
the
shit, he's
distant
charging
shape
at
of
him.
got bigger and bigger. He was
Oh
coming
my
back
god.
my way. He was coming back my way, and this time he was running.
Holy
I
shit.
ran too. I ran until I was off the side road and back onto a better lit road with sparse
Dude has the
traffic.
longest legs in the world. What the
Looking
fuck?
behind me then, he was nowhere to be found. The rest of my way home, I kept glancing over my shoulder, always expecting to see his stupid smile, but he was never there. I lived in that city for 6 months after that, and I never went out for another walk. There was something about his face that always haunted me.
This dude has no
He didn't look
cheeks.
drunk, utterly insane.
See, now
And
that's
a
fucking
very,
scary.
very scary thing
You guys
to
can't
see.
blame like 6-year-old me for being scared of this shit. Hold up, hold up. Oh shit, I clicked on something. Wait, this is the live action. Where's the smiling man? I need to see the smiling man. He's not even behind you anymore. Why are you still running? He's not even there. There's no one there. There's actually no one there. What? Where's the smiling man? I need to see the smiling man. See, dude just looks like fucking Light from Death Note. See, it's not as scary as the animation. This one just looks like some like... Oh, actually... He looks like a middle-aged dad.
What the hell do you want?
Oh. It's just so stupid. This dude is high. He's in the clouds right now. He's seeing fucking unicorns, dude. Oh yeah, get that jig on. Alright, this next story is called The True Pizza Delivery Horror Story. This one also kept me up, and it also has to do with smiling people. I think people smiling is just my fear, guys. I think I was just scared of smiling people.
Delivery one late night. It was probably the longest drive I have ever taken for a pizza delivery. From the pizza place I worked at, it was a 20-minute drive, which isn't too crazy out where I live. Plus, they
Mario's
ordered 4
Pizza, what the
large
fuck?
pies, so I figured it was a party and I would get a much bigger tip.
Oh yeah, baby.
Navigating the
All I
dirt
do is
roads at
party,
night
guys.
was always annoying.
Fun fact about me, I'm a party
I pulled
animal.
up to the given address. It was some old, sketchy.
Yeah, there's no
looking
party
building.
going on there, dude.
I put my car in park and called my boss. I asked him to reread the address at
Hello,
least 3
boss.
times
Please
to
tell
make
me,
sure I
help
typed
me,
it
help
in
me,
right,
help me.
but that checked out. I could tell he was in a really bitchy mood, and he told me to at least knock on the door and
Hey,
check
don't
it
be a
out.
bitch and deliver my
He
fucking
would normally
pizzas.
get mad if we took back 1 pie, but I was afraid of what he would do if I brought back 4.
He would have spanked your
I
ass,
was
dude.
insanely unnerved, but
He would have
got out
spanked
anyway
you.
and forced myself to the front door of the building. There was no doorbell, so I just knocked really hard. I heard nothing and didn't really expect to hear anything. I was extremely disappointed, not because nobody answered the door, but because I was realizing that it was all a waste of time and gas. I knocked
Yep.
one more time out of desperation.
Hello, it's your pizza. Pizza,
And
pizza
then I
time.
began to hear some kind of rustling noises from inside of the building.
This guy's eyebrows has eyebrows. Wait, does that even make
I
sense?
knocked again and yelled that I was the pizza
Hello, ma'am,
guy.
it's your pizza.
There was silence now. I felt a bit more uncomfortable now than before. But before I could turn around, I noticed something at the window.
Ooh.
There was someone looking through the window.
Oh,
I
it's
couldn't tell
fucking
if it was a man or a
disgusting.
woman. All I noticed were their eyes.
That's a woman?
And dropped
Yeah,
the
just
pizzas
fucking drop
and
the
ran back
pizzas,
to my
dude.
car. The shitty thing wouldn't start until turning the key for the 3rd time. I drove off the grass and back onto
Oh,
the
he's
dirt
still
road,
looking.
but I felt the car rocking about, shaking and bumping.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Something wasn't right. I didn't make it far from the building before I started hearing a sharp scraping sound coming from outside. There
Call
was so much
Mario.
resistance that I couldn't even drive. The car came to a stop.
Call Mario, dude.
I got out of the car to check what the hell was wrong. A chill ran up my spine as I began to feel like my heart was constantly skipping beats. My tires had been slashed and had completely fallen off the rim.
What do you mean slashed? They fucking took that whole fucking tire off. What are you talking about?
Not just the front though. All 4 tires were slashed.
How the fuck did they have enough time to take out all the tires in this guy's fucking car?
I was so close to that building, I could practically see it from where I was, if it weren't for the trees blocking the view. I dialed 911 and explained everything to the operator.
Help me, help me,
She
help
told me
me.
the cops would be over as soon as possible and that I need to stay hidden. I asked her if it was advisable to stay in the car or run, and she told me it would be best to stay in the car with the door locked.
That's stupid. Climb up a tree.
She asked me to stay on the line with her until the cops arrived. My whole body was shaking. In all directions, there was nothing but dark, seemingly endless forest. I knew it would take forever for the cops to get there.
That's where climb up a tree, dude.
Sitting in that car so close to whoever did this. The next part, though, is what utterly destroyed me. It still shakes me.
There was a naked grandpa.
And I hope nobody ever has to experience this kind of fear. As I was scanning all the windows, making sure nobody was outside, I looked in the rearview mirror, and there was the same person.
Fucking alien, dude. That's an alien. Holy shit, dude has tentacles.
Eyes open wider than ever. I could see now that.
Oh, that's a fucking zombie, dude.
And I could ever so slightly see a smile.
This grandma has saggier titties than my balls. Wait, what?
My door and full on sprinted into the woods.
Oh, I need to redo that joke. Her fucking titties are saggier than my balls, dude. Fuck.
I opened my door and sprinted into the woods, not caring how much noise I made.
Or just like punch her or something, man.
I was out of breath, which didn't take long, and I hid behind a giant log on the ground. I tried to cover my loud breathing with my hand as I waited and waited for what felt like hours.
What about the grandma?
I heard sirens in the distance. I gathered up all the stamina I had left to run all the way back in the direction of the dirt road. Eventually, the glowing red and blue lights came into view, and I had never felt better in my life. They were parked in front of my car, investigating with flashlights. I came out yelling at them.
That dude does not give a fuck. This dude right here does not give a fuck at all.
Like a lunatic to help me.
Help me!
I fell to the floor and started to gag, almost throwing up from running so much. They picked me up and began to question me, to which I explained everything to the best of my ability. One of the 2 cars drove over to the building, and the 2 officers began to search the building. They came back with nothing except for a couple of spiky objects.
They just left them alone?
These objects were exactly the same as the ones used to slash my tires.
They didn't slash this guy's tires. They fucking stole them. Look. There's no tire left. It's just this fucking like metal wheel thing.
The same.
No tires, dude.
Used to slash my tires.
They fucking stole that shit.
The cops guessed that it was some kind of sick, demented couple, being that I saw the woman.
This dude's face shape looks like a troll face.
But unfortunately, they were never found. And that still kills me to this day. I obviously quit my job right after that and started working at a local grocery store.
Dude is selling Pac-Man, what the hell?
Seeing that woman at the back of my car.
Star Pops? Alright, she's right there, alright. Alright. This one is called a Home Invasion Horror Story. This one, I thought it was real, and you're about to see why I thought it was real. You know, when it gets to the end.
It was a cold, foggy evening when I contacted a close friend of mine to stay at my place for the night. Both of us were only 10 years old at the time, and my parents were often at work until midnight, so I was usually alone with nothing to do except watching a television show or reading a book.
Oh
my
yeah.
friend Alex had agreed to come over and brought a game of Monopoly to pass some of the time. I also asked if he was interested in going to explore an abandoned subway station 3 miles away. He seemed excited at first, so we planned to go on the trip in the morning. I remembered that the subway dated back to the mid-1920s and became abandoned in 1932 after the market crash in 1929. I was very
I don't give a
fascinated about its
fuck,
history,
dude.
but never got the chance to go inside after my parents had warned me not to enter. As I quietly slept in my bed, I heard what sounded like a gunshot coming from the forest behind the house. Both of us woke up, frightened after what we had heard, and I told my friend not to worry as hunters tend to go into the forest on frequent occasions, but when I checked the time, it was 11:39 p.m. This seemed very unusual as hunters only came into the forest between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. I looked at Alex and decided to get out of my bed, intending to look through the window and spot for anyone
These
in the
dudes have more
forest.
balls than me.
The
I would have
darkness clouded my
fucking
vision, so I was unable to see anyone
stayed
in the
in bed.
forest. I turned around and looked at Alex again, when suddenly I heard the front door squeak open.
Yeah, cause fucking
Chills
Alex
went down my spine.
Alex left that shit
Both of us
unlocked.
quietly moved to the bathroom, locked the door, and kept the light off. It was the only safe place in the house. Both of us were terrified as we desperately tried to keep as calm as we could.
Why would
We
you?
heard footsteps getting louder and louder until they stopped in front of the bathroom door.
Yeah, they know you're in
And then
there.
This is when
'Cause
the
the
most
fucking door is
terrifying
locked.
sound forced my heart to almost burst. Both of us
What the
screamed
fuck?
as the person
This dude
chopped
is like
the
The
door to
Shining,
pieces.
dude. You know what I'm
It was
saying? Like The
pitch black
Shining.
inside the room, making it hard to find the vent, and by the time I spotted the vent, the person behind the door had
What
made
the
a hole
fuck? This dude's wearing a whole executioner mask.
big enough for us to
Black
see him.
plague looking ass.
The man adorned black leather and was wearing a plague doctor mask. I scurried back to the vent, but it was too high above the floor for us to reach it, so Alex told me to go first because he was the strongest. He
2v1,
lifted
just
me
beat
up
the
on
shit
his
out of that guy.
shoulders, allowing me to open the vent and crawl inside.
You guys didn't think of
When I
this
looked at
like,
the door again,
like
the
you know,
man
like
managed
while
to
he was
fit his
coming
arm through
upstairs?
the hole and reached for the lock.
Oh my
I quickly
god.
grabbed Alex's hand, but struggled to pull him up into the vent.
No. Oh my god.
I shouted and began going after him. I pursued the figure until I was led to the abandoned subway deep within the forest. It was chilly and foggy, meaning that I could
No,
only see
dude, they're gonna
objects within a range of
sacrifice him,
5 or
bro.
6 yards.
I mean, he deserves it.
It
He
was
left
a
the front
pool
door
of
unlocked,
freezing
so he
cold
kind of
water.
deserves it.
It was so dark that I couldn't see anything. I had to rely on listening to the screams from Alex and track the source. As I slowly
Does that
walked
fucking
through
dude
the
have night
subway,
vision
I
goggles,
was now
or what?
struggling to breathe under the intense stress and fear of the situation. I was now experiencing a massive panic attack. I had lost track of Alex, and I had no idea where I was or how to get out.
Just go the opposite way.
Where are
What?
you, Alex?
Did the guy get him or what? See, this right here fucking terrified me as a kid. Because I thought this story was real. On October 19th, 1983, Alex was confirmed dead after he was found inside the ticket office hanging from the ceiling. That shit terrified me because I was like, wait, this is real. But it's not real. It's, you know, it's fiction. His closest friend remains missing. See, this shit terrified me as a kid. If I didn't know this was fake, I would still be scared of it to this day. But I found out that the story is fake, like it's fiction, you know, so it's not real. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you want me to react to more like any like horror stories, like or any like, you know, animated stuff, like, you know, anything at all, like anything that involves me watching something, give me 2 likes and just comment. I don't know, leave me the link on Twitter or something, and I'll watch it for you guys. And yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys have a good night, a good day, whatever. And yeah.